Hey YouTube, Meef Magnet here. Kind of wanted to go over just a couple things since I completed the actual campaign on this first Crusader. Ended up at level 54. Pretty simple. I don't think I actually died once. I got pretty close a couple times, especially with that last battle with Altheel. I kind of just wanted to go over quickly some quick, easy solo leveling tips. Just in case you missed the last 9 or so episodes. Let's take a look quick what I ended up with for gear here. Granted, I did switch some of this stuff out, but I ended the normal campaign with this set of gear. So, just real quick, ended up with 11.4k damage, almost 11.5. Toughness is 261, 647, and recovery is 6327, which is kind of low in my mind, but that's kind of the way this gear is spec'd. As far as normal goes, usually throw on whatever you can find, pick up legendaries, and usually it's the best stuff you can possibly pick up. So, let's just go through here quickly. Leoric's Crown, again, plus 35 experience, and then at level 70 it switches to 3.5%. So the 3.5% is applied to all your Paragon gains. You'll notice it happening once you get to 70. It drops off quite a bit, but I mean, until you get to 70, this is kind of what I run around with. It just seems to work. As far as the shoulders here, these were pretty generic. Kind of came up with these. I think this was actually last run. It could be a last episode. I'm not sure. These are pretty generic. Nothing really all that special about it. Squirt's necklace. The only reason I'm running around with this is if you look, you'll see that the critical hit damage increased by 38%, and it seems to help out quite a bit. 38% is a lot, and it's got your plus 182 strength sitting there too. Now this chest plate here, this is helpful, but I don't know how helpful it was. I guess I really didn't notice the difference. The big deal here is while above 92% primary resource, all damage taken is reduced by 50%. So as long as it's above 92%, when I wasn't blowing hammers out like crazy, damage taken was reduced by 50%. Now, how often was I below the 92%? I don't know. I really don't. I don't know if this was actually something that was helpful or not. I guess I really don't know. Later on, once you get the cube and could take this off of here and reapply it if you wanted to, maybe it would be better. I guess I don't know. Probably something I would like to experiment with just a little bit later on, just to see if it actually does make a difference. So Gabriel's Van Braces, this is kind of the return on Blessed Hammers. So if you're dumping these out and it hits 3 or fewer enemies, 81% wrath cost is refunded. So this is helpful if you're going to do a Crusader and you're going to run these Blessed Hammers. Pick these up if you can find them. I know the level requirement's pretty low, so those are there. This belt, this was also generic. I think the reason I picked this up and actually used this was to increase that life regen. It was kind of lacking there. These rings, pretty much anything with strength was kind of what I was looking for. This one's got a plus 3% to attack speed. This one, again, plus strength, and this one's got 4 on attack speed. Cold resistant stuff is great for once you move up difficulty. Kind of talk more about that later on once you get into that kind of stuff. So these pants, again, strength, since that's primary attribute. That's what I was going for. It's also got 2 sockets. You'll notice that I really didn't socket anything here except that helm, and I really didn't need to. And I kind of told everybody I wasn't really going to cheat, except I did on the helm. As for that plus 35 experience, I did pick up a bunch of gems. So, granted, it probably wouldn't be plus 35%, but I think by the end, probably should have been able to get to somewhere around 21%, I think. This axe I just got, I think this came off of, was it Diablo? I don't remember. This really has nothing to do with my build. The Summon Ghostly Fallen Champion when attacking. I mean, it's kind of cool to have, especially at the lower levels, and it does kind of work pretty well. But big deal here was the plus 292 strength, the vitality, and then if you look, it's 263 to 322 fire damage. So it's kind of a heavy hitter for these low difficulties. We'll see how it works. Again, this is generic here, but when these came up, it rolled Blessed Hammer damage of plus 12%. So I went with it. The other bonus there was its plus 10% movement speed. So I was happy with these. And this shield, again, this is just plus strength, and it's got vitality on it. Cool thing about this one is it actually ended up rolling out with a reduced cooldown of all skills by 5%. So not a lot of specialized gear here, except just this piece, the helm, the band braces, and then just magically this one showed up. So, but that's kind of a recap for what I ended up with at level 54 and getting through Act 5. So, just quickly to summarize what I kind of did. So Act 1 and 2, and I think I was under level 20 by the time I actually got to Act 2, sorry. The biggest deal there is to get that Lairarch's crown. So whether it drops off the Skeleton King or you can find it early, it seems to help. It worked well for me. It could work well for you. What you can do is you can go back and actually start new games. If you can get into like Fields of Misery and just run through there multiple times. I said in a really early episode, I think it was 1 or 2, that what I'll do until about level 15 is kill absolutely every single monster I can find. And that just seems to work well. Look out for those pools. They always show up on yellow, and usually they proc on the mini-map, like you could see them. Pick those up. They're good for, I think it is 20 or 25%, but get those because it's just an added bonus. That'll help you out a lot. If you see those and they're right next to a big pile of monsters, see if you can get to the pool first and then kill your monsters. You know, it'll just give you that bonus. So once you get to level 15, then you can be a little bit more selective. What I'll do is I'll go for bigger groups, knock out big groups, hit champions and elites. Watch out for anything with fire chains and walls, because it seems like those just hit hard. Desecrator, those are kind of a pain in the ass. They're not a huge deal. Usually you can just walk right away from them and monsters will come to you. So low levels, look at what abilities you've got. I think I ended up, let's take a look here, ended up using Shield Bash as my right click, and I rolled with Slash with Electrify early on, and then eventually moved into Carve. But that was really my 2 skills, so it would be Slash what I could, and then what I wanted to do was chain as many kills together as I could for that, you know, bonus 1.25% experience. But that works really well, especially when you pair Slash with Shield Bash, because that Shield Bash will get you to an enemy halfway across the screen. So you just right click or however you want to do it, and it's just going to get you there. So you get into your next group of monsters. Usually you can chain them together. Bonus experience hanging out there too. Very early utility skills we had was provoke. So this was a taunt, and this did help for some of the really wide groups. If you could taunt some and then move off a little bit into the more main part of the group, you could get those and knock them out a little bit faster. As far as laws, I use Laws of Valor almost exclusively. And if we take a look here, right away I used just every rune in order. The critical was a big help, and that was probably Act 3 until I got Unstoppable Force. The reason I picked up Unstoppable Force was, again, for this. You empower the law, reduce the wrath cost of all skills by 50% for 5 seconds. So that should give you a total of 10 seconds. It works out pretty well, especially if you're doing wrath intensive build, I guess, like Blessed Hammers. So early on, Laws of Valor, this worked actually really well. Fallen Sword, I think I use this as a good bailout early on. I think you get it pretty early, but you can use this as a bailout. So if you're in trouble, you can use it as a bailout. You can also use it as a bail-in, I guess it's called. Call it whatever the hell you want, just to get your ass into the middle of the fight until you get steed. So anywhere from mid-game, so anything after level 15, you know, being selective, we kind of talked about that, but getting in there and then just start crushing through these acts. So I ended up at level 54. I guess I've played not a Crusader, but a Demon Hunter recently. I was about 45 by the time I was done, if that sounds right. Maybe it was 50. I don't remember, but usually it seems like I kind of end up right around where I'm at now with any character I play. So, but that's following the same methods, and I think I got through the whole campaign in just shy of 9 hours, and I was going quick, but I wasn't going like fast. So, as far as the middle levels, middle acts, you'll just have to switch out skills that work well for you depending on what your build is. So this Crusader, we kind of swapped this out when I kind of realized that I wanted to do a Blessed Hammer build. I kind of tailored to suit. Get out on the internet, check out some of these guys' builds. A lot of people already did all the hard work for you, so pretty much all you have to do is go out there and then just wait for stuff to unlock. What gets difficult is some of the other builds is that you have to go through and actually tailor skills to equipment sets, where this hammer build is for leveling is actually it's pretty sweet because there's really no equipment requirements. You just get out there. You might slack out on Wrath a little bit just because of lack of damage. Like I said, I lucked out, ended up coming up with you know, plus 12% damage on these boots, and that worked well. And then these Vam braces I actually came up with, which I didn't expect. I was kind of keep my eye out for them, and then these actually showed up. But keep an eye out for equipment that'll help your build. Other than that, once you get towards your 45, 50 mark, 55, should be in Act 4. Diablo, Malthael 2. What I've done in the past, I guess, and that worked well, is kind of farm Diablo a little bit. It seems like every once in a while he drops some of the highest end stuff. I guess I really haven't done it in Act 5 because I haven't. This was actually the first run I've done of that since I started playing this again. So if you feel like your equipment is not doing so well, I mean, if you've beat it, if you've gone through Act 5 and you actually unlock, I think the next one is Nightmare, and you're feeling like you're getting your ass kicked constantly, I've done it in the past where I've gone back and run the bosses on normal and come up with a little bit better gear in, you know, maybe just fucking around for an hour or two. And what I've tried to do is actually increase my armor. Like right now, my armor levels, it's pretty low, but I'm wondering how that's going to fare in Nightmare. But gone back and run some bosses. I might actually do that now. I guess I'm not sure. So I'm gonna give it a shot. I might. I think I'm gonna jump into adventure mode and do that rather than go through all the campaign again. So, but just wanted to give you guys a little bit of summary of what happened. Give you a few tips on what you can do to get through those early levels, because those seem like those are the most boring, is 1 through 15. But knock those monsters out and hang in there. You'll get through it. Get some decent characters rolling. So that should do it. This is Meef Magnet. Talk to you later.